Bradford City continue their 2024-25 league campaign with a trip to Brunton Park to face Carlisle United, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season, what my starting 11 would be for this match if I was Graham Alexander. We'll start out firstly then with my team Bradford City, as we currently sit 8th in the Sky Bet League 2 table. After 24 matches we've got 10 wins, 8 draws and 6 defeats, scoring 33 goals and also conceding 27, which leaves us on a positive 6 goal difference and 38 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a win, a draw, a win and a loss. Them last couple of matches then been a 3-1 win away to Aston Villa's under 21s, a very comfortable match. In all honesty, you're not going to get many easier round of 16 games than that one, to be honest with you. Yes, they scored a very nice goal, but apart from that, they didn't really offer much attacking threat. The physicality that we showed was far too much for them to handle, while they were decent technical players. All 3 of our goals come in from set piece, and it was very nice for us to progress through into the quarter-finals. We also had a 3-1 win at home to Grimsby Town, probably the best home performance we've seen at Valley Parade in a number of years. Despite having no Andy Cook in the squad, we absolutely ran all over them. You look at the stats, we absolutely dominated this game, and it was great to see 3 different goal scorers as well, scoring 3 at home without Andy Cook in the team. Absolutely excellent stuff, and yeah, like I say, very good performance. We also had a frustrating 2-2 draw away at Barrow. Obviously this was the game where Cook did pick up his injury, and I think that kind of put us off our stride, in all honesty. We did take the lead through Lewis Richards, but conceded 2 really poor goals, gave a penalty away through Aidan Baldwin, absolutely shocking decision making, and then the second goal Sam Walker absolutely has to save. Clark Adore did rescue a point for us pretty late on, but that was definitely 2 points dropped. We also had a 2-1 win at home to Chesterfield FC. Really nice way to get back-to-back wins at the time at home. It was actually 3 home wins in a row, wasn't it? Yeah, really nice to turn that around against a very strong Chesterfield side. Yes, they had a lot of injuries, but again, great to see Poynton and Sarcevic on the score sheet with our only 2 shots on target in the match. And we also had a 2-1 win at home to Port Vale. Andy Cook scoring his final 2 goals for Bradford City for this season anyway, and that first one was an absolute screamer. They did pull a goal back just after half time, but obviously Andy Cook would go on to once again score to nod home the winner and pick up another 3 points for Bradford City, and then Tom Sang would see red in the 93rd minute for elbowing Anthony Sarcevic. Compared though to Carlisle United, they currently sit bottom of the Football League. They're 24th in the table, and after 24 matches they've only managed the 4 wins so far this season, 6 draws, 14 goals scored and 19 goals conceded. That's not accurate, is it? They've lost 14 matches. They've scored 19 and conceded 38. That makes a lot more sense. That leaves them on a minus 19 goal difference, the worst in the entire division. And obviously 18 points is the worst in the entire division as well. They're now 7 points from safety. They did a massive turnaround, and I don't think their transfer window, while it's improved their squad, I don't think it's improved it enough to turn around 7 points. Although Tranmere, to be fair, they are just equally as bad. In terms of their last couple of matches then, they've had a loss, a win, a loss and a draw. They have recently had a 1-0 defeat away to Tranmere Rovers. They haven't played though for a couple of weeks, and while there was 32 shots in the game, if my maths is correct, it was a really boring spectacle. Cameron Norman scoring the only goal of the game, and this was a must-win for Carlisle. I don't really know how Mike Williamson is still in a job. In all honesty, I think he's an absolutely woeful manager. It was the wrong appointment at the time. It's still the wrong appointment now, and unless they sack him, Carlisle United will be playing in the National League next season, in my opinion. But that was an absolutely terrible result for them. They also had a 3-2 defeat away at Crewe Alexandra. This is kind of the tale of both teams' seasons. Crewe are a team fighting for promotion. Carlisle have got a very soft underbelly and are fighting relegation at the moment. 2-1 up in the 92nd minute and ends up losing the game 3-2. Absolutely shocking game management, and I think, was it Ben Barkley was doing TikToks with his girlfriend talking about Carlisle finally winning a game just after that when this had happened. Absolutely crazy stuff, but yeah, terrible result for Carlisle. They did, however, have a 2-1 win at home to Accrington Stanley. I actually watched the first half of this game, and I don't think Carlisle looked too bad, in honesty. Obviously Carlisle scored with both their only shots on target in the match, but great for Luke Armstrong as well to get on the score sheet. He's not had many goals in a blue shirt. They did, however, have a 1-0 defeat at home to Morecambe. Gwyn Edwards scoring the only goal of the game. John James Alexander Mellish, I don't know why we've got his full name on there, getting sent off. Obviously the first time we've played against Carlisle in a number of years, which hasn't featured a John Mellish team as he has signed for League One side at Wigan Athletic. But again, they've lost 1-0 to Morecambe, they've lost 1-0 to Tranmere. To not even score against these terrible sides, how is Mike Williamson still in a drop? They did, however, have a 0-0 draw away at Port Vale. Probably should have won this game, in all honesty. Luke Armstrong's disallowed goal did seem very soft, and I guess it swings and roundabouts in football. When you're down there fighting relegation, you just don't quite get that look, do you? Before we do any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 50 likes on today's video? That'd be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What is your score prediction for this match? What would your starting 11 be as well? In terms of my team then for this game, I would stick with the 3-4-2-1 formation. In goal, I would go with Sam Walker. I'm still a very big believer we need to get a new goalkeeper in this transfer window. He obviously played on Tuesday, and I'm not going to say that he could do anything about the Aston Villa's under-21s goal. It was an absolutely exceptional strike right into the top corner, but I just think Sam Walker's made far too many errors so far this season, and while he is still our best goalkeeper, the standard isn't particularly amazing. In terms of the back three then, at right centre back, I will go with Callum Johnson. I thought he had a really good performance on Tuesday, and I know we're still building up his fitness. He might only manage 60-65 minutes, but I'd still rather have Johnson in the team for 60-65 minutes than Aidan Baldwin for the full 90. I think Baldwin's got far too many mistakes in him. On that big pitch, he might try a couple more risks, which he doesn't need to do so, and when we've not won there for 40 years, there is a bit of hoodoo over us coming into this game, so we need to be a little bit more solid, and I thought Callum Johnson was really solid on Tuesday, so I'd like to see him get another start. In the middle, I would stick with Jack Shepherd. I think he has really improved since we've moved him into the middle of the back three. I'm a big fan of Paul Huntington, but I don't think he comes straight back into the side. Obviously, hasn't played for a number of weeks now with that, I think, calf injury, wasn't it? So Jack Shepherd would stay in the side for me, and great to see him back on the score sheet as well on Tuesday night. And at left centre back, I would stick with Kieran Kelly. I thought he was pretty average on Tuesday, had some good moments, had some poor moments, obviously got twisted inside out for the Aston Villa goal on Tuesday, but I still do think he is one of our better centre-halves, so I would still stick with him at left centre-back. In terms of my midfield four then, at right wing-back, I'd stick with Brad Holiday. He's been very consistent over the last couple of games. Since really that error away at Stockport, I think he's really kicked on since that moment. He's really made that right wing-back position his own. With Callum Johnson now back to full fitness, Jay Ben can't even get in the squad as well, so big credit to Brad Holiday for turning his season back around. In terms of my two central midfielders then, firstly I go with the captain at Richie Smallwood. Didn't really notice anything that he did on Tuesday, but I thought against Grimsby had a really good performance. I've obviously got a fair few assists so far this season as well. Now when everyone complains about his set pieces, he obviously gets the assist for our first goal as well. Great header from Kavanagh, but a very good ball into the box from Smallwood, and I think he'll be looking to put right the wrongs of the last time he went to Brunton Park, which is obviously that playoff semi-final second leg. Partnering Smallwood in the midfield then, I would go with Alex Patterson. I think he's going to be very important for this game. A massive pitch is going to suit him brilliantly. You know, the legs, energy, endeavour that he has in there, he's going to be so important for us in this game. He absolutely has to start, and I hope it's one of them games where he's on it from minute one and just absolutely runs the game, because when he is on it, he's one of the best midfielders in the entire division, and fingers crossed he can get on the score sheet once again. As my left wing back, I would stick with Lewis Richards. Now Tuesday was a bit of an interesting performance from Richards. I thought it was very similar to what we saw of him from last season, whereas prior to that, in the previous 6 to 12 matches, I think he's been absolutely exceptional. He's really made that left wing back position his own. I don't see how Tyreek Wright would get back into the squad at this moment in time, because I think Lewis Richards has been very good, and it's great to see him finally kicking on from what we saw of him last season, where he was injured quite a lot, was performing about 6 out of 10 very consistently. Now recently, I think he's obviously not had an injury so far this season, has been performing at least a 7 out of 10 in a lot of games, so I would definitely stay with him in my side. As my two at number 10s then, firstly I would go with Anthony Sarcevic. I think you shouldn't change what isn't broken. We've got a lot of options who can now play in them positions. You're going to have 2 or 3 who don't even make the matchday squad, and that's with having 3 on the bench. So Sarcevic needs a good performance in this one. Came on at half time on Tuesday just to kind of get his legs going again, and I don't think he really contributed much in that game, but against Grimsby I do remember him having a very good performance. And as my other number 10 then, I would go with Bobby Poynton. I was slightly disappointed to see him play as long as 88 minutes on Tuesday. I think he should have come off after 75, 80 at the absolute maximum. I do think we slightly did overplay him in that game, but he was excellent, wasn't he? Man of the match again on Tuesday. He was the best player on the park, best under-21s player on the park, and that's playing against a Premier League academy. He was absolutely exceptional and definitely has to start again in this one. And as my striker, I would stick with Callum Kavanagh. Now got 5 goals in all competitions, but it is still just 1 in the league for Kavanagh. But it was a very good finish on Tuesday. A great glancing flick to find the back of the net. A really, really good header. His overall play, though, I don't think was amazing. Lost it quite sloppily a few times, but he's not necessarily going to be that hold-up striker. He does now need to improve his performances consistently, though, as obviously Michael Mellon has now signed for the football club. On the bench now for me, that would leave Colin Doyle, Aidan Baldwin, Tyreek Wright, Brandon Kayla, Tommy Lee, George Lapsley and Michael Mellon. I'm pretty sure the only player unavailable is Andy Cook for this game. No fireworks going to keep him up in this game, so the players who miss out then through selection, listen to some of these names: Zach Hady, Jay Ben, Paul Huntington, Neil Byrne, Clark Adore, Gabriel Wadsworth, Jamie Walker, Tyler Smith and Verdane Oliver. We are a very, very bloated squad now. We need to see at least 3 departures, and we still need a couple more bodies to come in through the door in terms of improving on what we already do have. In terms of a score prediction for this game, I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw. They're bottom of the league. We've only won twice away from home all season. We haven't won at Brunton Park for 40 years. I don't really see how there's going to be any goals in this game. I think we've had a couple of times where it's been very low scoring up there. It's either going to be 0-0 or Carlisle are going to stuff us like 5-0 out there and all their new signings are going to score. Either way, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for another one.